coming up on the Lead Ministry Podcast.
And so people are saying no because you're a sinking ship. Why would I want to join this desperation of we need people to work. We got to have it. That's out of guilt and
scarcity.
Now your host, Josh Denhart.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Lead Ministry Podcast. We're grateful that you're here. We love hearing from you. I just got a very nice compliment from somebody that emailed me and said that the podcast helps their life. That's always a great thing. Well, I hope it's helping your life. Again, my name is Josh Denhart with leadministry.com, and we are committed to help you to make ministry easier so that volunteers stay with you and they don't flee out the back door. The last thing we want is to have all of your volunteers run off a sinking ship like a bunch of rats. Vance, we're here. Good to see you, buddy.
What's up? Good to see you too, Josh. Great to be back with you.
You betcha. We're talking about recruiting. Pretty critical.
It's kind of like the thing. If you can't do this in children's ministry, you're sunk.
That's right. If you can't do it in student ministry, you're sunk. If you can't do it in adult ministry, you're sunk. At the end of the day, the last I looked, most pastors sign up to be a pastor only to realize that they are the automatic HR director of a very large institution and those employees are not paid. So you're the HR director of a non-paid staff. That's you. You're in ministry.
Yeah, this is the rocket fuel of ministry. If you can't build your team, if you can't bring new people in, you're not going to be very successful.
You're going to be number one.
This is important.
You're going to be number one, doing it on your own. Number two, you're going to quickly realize there is not enough of you. And number three, your family will begin to resent you and then resent the ministry. Ain't nobody got time for that, Vance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a calling thing. If you're called to lead a ministry, it's really you're called to lead these people.
That's right. And so today we are talking about a very, very important topic. That's right. How to make recruiting an easy yes. You want people to say yes very, very, very quickly. And that's what we're talking about today, Vance. You've got some great things that you've laid out for us today. For those of you who have been a part of the podcast before, we try to have a big first bucket, define it, kind of define the problem and define what we're talking about. Number two, we're going to take it deeper and develop this concept. And then number three, we're going to call you to action. So we have all three of those components today. Let's get right into it. Why people say no. Well, Vance, we have here, if people are watching on YouTube, they can see there are 5 reasons really clearly why people say no. I affirm all 5 reasons. Let's talk about each one briefly. The first one, it says, you don't have a good reputation. Drama.
Yeah. I will say the first thing that came to my mind was a certain Taylor Swift song that I think it goes like, hi, me, I'm the problem, it's me. This is this is all you. You are the problem. Yeah. I am the problem. You don't have a good reputation. That's the first one.
That is the first one. And the funny thing is that I would tell all of my staff who were involved in part of recruiting, I would say, hey, listen, if you haven't done a good job recruiting, that means that the person who did say yes is going to have not a small group of kids. They're going to have a medium to medium large group of kids because you didn't do your job recruiting. And so that person who did say yes, you've just made it harder for them.
You're going to abuse them.
You're going to abuse them, and they're going to stay with you through the season that they said yes to, and then it ain't happening again because you have a reputation. Now watch this. They got burned. They got put into a situation that was harder than normal. They're not going to do it again. But here's the worst part, Vance. All of a sudden, their good friend who is like an accountability partner. They're both young moms. They talk about coffee. They talk about kids. They talk about school. They know the ins and outs of both others' lives. And the one friend who has served with you is asked a question by the other friend, and the other friend is being as kind as they can. And they're like, hey, should I do this serving role, Josh Denhart asked me to volunteer with them. You know my life. You know that it's crazy. What do you think?
Yeah.
And that volunteer who had served with you and had a bad experience, all they have is they're like, you know what? I don't want to throw down on anybody. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just going to tell you it's not for you. Don't do it.
Yeah. That's exactly what they're going to do. So you might want to find another ministry to serve in.
And they did it as kindly. Let's not say that they're a gossip. They're looking out for their good friend. So if we got a bad reputation, it's going to follow us. Well, the next one is you don't have clear roles. Tell us about that.
So clarity, I've heard it, clarity is kindness.
I like that.
People aren't willing to follow a leader if the leader doesn't have clarity of what they're asking them to do. If you don't have clarity on what the role is and it isn't clearly defined, and one of the leaders that I followed always used to say, if it's not written in writing, it doesn't exist.
Okay.
If you don't have the clarity and are able to give them the who, what, where, when, how, why would they say yes?
Yeah.
Because there's always something left in their mind. If people aren't, if they're saying no, a really good reason could be that they don't exactly have clarity on what it is that you're asking them to do. So they're going to say, they're going to say no.
Well, a great marketer, which by the way, I don't care how you spin it, recruiting is a form of marketing, Vance.
Absolutely. It is. You're marketing your ministry and
you're marketing what you're doing. And a great marketer once said, if you confuse, you lose. And so if you don't have clear roles, you're in big trouble, which leads us to if you don't have a clear vision. Same thing. If you don't have clarity in your vision, they're going to be like, okay, now why?
Yeah. Where are we going? What's the purpose behind this?
How am I actually,
goal?
What am I actually helping with?
Yeah. Well, why would I want to give my precious time to you and this ministry? What are we accomplishing? And it's got to be bigger than, we got the lowest hanging fruit here when it comes to reaching kids. So if we're fumbling this one, this is a big deal because we should be able to express what the vision is specifically when it comes to how we're reaching kids and how they can be a part of it. Because the vision necessarily isn't this overall picture. When you're recruiting, you're giving them a clear vision of what they look like in the role. When you give them a clear vision of what it's going to be like to hands-on see the life transformation, they begin to visualize themselves. If you aren't, it's the real estate agent, that's able to help somebody walk into an empty house and help them see how their life could be set up in this place. If they're saying no, you're not setting a clear enough vision for here's what it would be like if you were leading this small group and this life transformation was happening. So you got to have that clear vision.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, Vance. We'll come back to this, and I'll say it again later on the podcast, I think. But in terms of not having clear roles and in terms of not having clear vision, sometimes somebody out there is going to be like, oh, I've got a great clear vision. Yeah. And your vision for your ministry is rivaling the Westminster Shorter Catechism. Get over yourself. Chill out. It needs to be simple. It needs to be really clear. Well, the next one is you don't have a winning team. Now, this one is huge. That comes along with reputation. That all of a sudden, if you have a super winning team, people want to be a part of something that's moving and hopping and growing and healthy and fun.
Yeah, this is the difference in recruiting for a need versus recruiting to a vision. Ooh. And we used to, for years at my last church, every quarter we would have serving seasons that we would recruit people to. And it was kind of like this big campaign. We'd have everybody sign up for this serving season. And we decided, what if we shifted it and changed it from, and it was, it was done well. It was, showing video of people in classrooms and all this, but it was a whole goal of step up and serve. Well, one season we absolutely went totally in on vision and family impact. And we had twice as many people sign up to be a part of our ministry coming into that ministry season than we ever had before. Why? It's because people aren't moved by a need. And they always feel like somebody else is going to fulfill it. And so people are saying no because you're a sinking ship. Why would I want to join this desperation of we need people to work. We got to have it. That's out of guilt and
scarcity.
It's not a long-term winning strategy. People want to join a team that's thriving. Hey, we don't necessarily need you, but we'd love to have you.
Yeah, that's a big, big, big difference. Nobody wants to join a ship where rats are running off of a sinking ship. Ain't gonna.
Oh yeah.
And I've looked at, quote, recruiting campaigns where it's heavy guilt, it's heavy shame, it's heavy, and it's like, bro, this is DOA. The last one is, and I think quite honestly, we've saved the best reason for last. You don't have relational equity. People will go along with who they get along with. Are you like this person that everybody wants to, do they love you? Have you fostered are you cool? Or are you an absolute Debbie Donnie Downer? No.
Absolutely. I think there's two aspects of this, or two different times when this is really important. I think there's a recruiting to the team that's someone that's new, but I also think that recruiting is recruiting people to another level. And when you're recruiting people to the team, they need to have some context of you, but it's not like you need to be their best friend. And but it does help being in the lobby. Your best asset is working the lobby on a Sunday morning than it is being in a classroom.
Completely
so
agree.
You're known, you're meeting people. There's a context. Where the relational equity really comes is when you're recruiting someone to say yes to something more. And if it's a volunteer you've got in your ministry, but hey, I want you to step up to be a coach or a service coordinator or if they're saying no to that. That is the primary reason they say no there, is because of a lack of relational equity.
Wow.
And so when you build that relational equity, whether it's just beyond an acquaintance in the lobby to get them to join the team, or I'm asking them to be a key part of my team, that takes a lot more relational equity.
This is really good. So being present at church, sitting in a different spot, not in your kind of normal spot, that gets you visualization. Being in the lobby, that's visualization. And that's one level of being known. But really, really being known and really liking people, taking them to lunch, having a really deep, deep, deep reservoir of deposits that you've made. It's from the overflow of those deposits that you can call them to something far greater. And that's huge. So if you don't got a good reputation, if you don't have clear roles, you don't have clear vision, you don't have a current winning team, and you don't have relational equity, these are the 5 top reasons why someone's going to say no to you. But now let's turn the page, take it a little bit deeper, we'll develop it. Everything to make yes easy. Everything that you can do to make them saying yes go easy. Well, number 1, it's a clear structure. Vance, you say it's the big 5, the 5 big basics, the who, what, when, where, and how. If you can't articulate those really quickly and really seamlessly, they are going to have question marks in their mind, and their subconscious is going to say, yeah, this feels dangerous to me. Something feels dangerous. I'm walking in blindly. Nobody wants to walk in blind, and your body is actually going to resist walking in blind because your body is looking to protect you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, people, this is about expectations as well.
Mm-hmm.
People want to win and they want to do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not able to articulate where they fit, what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to show up, how you want them to do it, who they report to, why would they say yes?
Mm-hmm.
So this is being a good steward, and we have to be a good steward. If we're not doing the pre-work, all these principles. These are kingdom principles that we're making an investment so that God will. We've proven that we're a good steward so that God is going to send the people to us. If we don't do this pre-work, why would God send his most valuable asset to us and put under our care if we haven't proven that we can be a good and faithful servant?
Yeah, I agree with that. I remember Jim Weidman years ago would say, all of you want an extra 15 volunteers. Now, why in the world would God give you something that he knows that you're going to mess up right out of the gate?
Yeah, you're not ready for him if he gave them to you.
Yeah, well, you have a great second point here under clear structure, create clear structure. Clarity lowers fears and builds confidence. And if we can on the front end, because we've put in the time, lay out this clear structure, they're not going to feel like there's something missing. This could catch me by surprise. Clarity lowers fears, and they say, yeah, I could do that. But how about this? Use simple job descriptions. This is a part of the clarity. This is a part of the pre-work.
It is. Yeah.
Bullet points with including expectations. Talk to us about this.
Yeah. So I think I've seen a lot of job descriptions for volunteers that they try and pile in all the things and all of the duties, and that's not what people don't need to be overwhelmed. Make it simple. Think buckets, right?
Yep.
I'm thinking
not paragraphs,
larger, big buckets. We can get into, and we'll get into this in one of the other points, is checklist and things that are very job specific. We can get into that later, but this is, what are my expectations of you? What time do you need to show up, and how long is it going to take? It is not walk in at 30 minutes before, wipe all of the tables. No, it's ensure the room is ready to receive kids, right? We'll get into the details of that later, but give them the big bullet points of what it is that I'm responsible for. The details come in the training and the checklist and all the things that are later, because it's too many words. It's too much.
Clarity with simplicity.
Yeah. Saying less that is clear is better than more that is confusing. More words does not mean better clarity. Agreed. Say it in less words that are more direct, and you'll get much, much further down the road.
And, Vance, it's funny. This comes back to people that I have seen in their job descriptions are rivaling the Westminster Shorter Catechism, and they're including, you will, unto the glory, to the kingdom comes. And it's like, stop. You don't need to make this uber spiritual. It's time commitment. It's the frequency. It's the team leader and a win statement. Keep it simple, silly brain.
Yes. Couldn't agree more.
Okay. Well, number 3, develop a ministry checklist. Vance, I like this one. Break down all the actual tasks.
Yeah. So I had a friend who used this metaphor, and I steal it all the time. It's kind of like when you got a chef, like the show Iron Chef.
Sure.
They're given ingredients and told to make something. There's always like a crazy ingredient. It's like, we want you to make a bread, but you have to use octopus ink. And it's and they can take it. They just take it and they do it and make something amazing out of it. And often that's what you, as the children's ministry leader, you can be given anything and you can make it. Right. Then there's the next kind of cook that's like my grandmother, who used to make homemade biscuits.
Yes.
And, she could make biscuits just from she didn't measure anything. She just had the flour and the lard and she'd feel it and just bake it right up. And they were the best. And those are some leaders that have some competency that there's just built in. They're intuitive. But then there's also biscuits in a box or in the roll. And it's just, hey, add water, mix this, put it in the pan and bake it. And that's what we want to do for our ministry checklist. We're doing biscuits in a box.
Yes.
And we're saying all you got to do is follow these instructions. Put the oven on 350, cook them for 20 minutes, put the egg in the bowl, whisk it together, plop them in quarter cup servings, put it in the oven, and you're good to go.
And so it's a guaranteed outcome. This punch list is a guaranteed outcome. It's not grandma's like, okay, you got to come in here, make sure you feel. Nope. This is a guaranteed outcome. So you got to develop this ministry checklist. And your quote here, which I appreciate, here's what this role looks like step by step. Automatically, the person who's like, I'm busier than a one-legged man in a kicking contest. Okay. Okay. That looks simple. Okay, good. Yeah. Simple is good.
This is another way to, it can be an extension of you. A lot of times as children's ministry leaders, we like things done a certain way, right? And so this ministry checklist, it lives beyond us. It can live in the classroom or wherever it needs to be. And it helps with training. So having this training, I'm walking them through and we're assuring the quality and our standards are kept at a certain level. And I'm not the one that has to be there. If I create a checklist and I'm having it very clear in these steps, it's going to be executed over and over and over again. You're the Iron Chef.
That's right.
Everybody's not the Iron Chef. Go make biscuits, cake in a box.
Cake in a box, baby. Well, the next one that when I saw that you had included this, I loved it. It's called Offer Ministry Tours. Well, I did this a lot. It lets people see it before they serve in it. It's kind of a see it before it's giving them a visual. But yet I'm walking around and guess what I'm doing? I'm sharing super clear, super basic vision, a real, and this is, take a look here at this sheet. It's laminated. You see how this is kind of like bake biscuits in a box? Pretty straightforward, isn't it? They're like, that's super straightforward. Okay, great. Let's move to the next area. Oh, wow. Here's another checklist. I'm providing them with a really quick flyby, right? Having these shadowing opportunities or open house Sundays where prospective volunteers can come in and observe pressure-free.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times what happens is they don't know where they want to serve.
Right.
And so sometimes it's, hey, let's go look at preschool. Let's look at the nursery. Let's look at elementary. Let's go look at our special needs ministry and see them all in action. And you're going to see their little eyes lighting up. Because often, especially if this is a parent, the only time that they may have seen your ministry is in a pretty chaotic time pick up and drop off. It can be a little crazy. And so this is what happens. They have an idea of what it's like. Yes. It's like, I can tell you what the Grand Canyon looks like all day, but there's something different about putting my arm around you and walking up to the lip of that big hole in the ground. And you go, oh, that's what you mean.
Yes.
People need to experience it.
Yes. Now, one cool thing that I always sought to do, and if I was really on my game, I would go into the 4-year-old, 5-year-old kindergarten room and I would say, hey, Susan, you're my main person. Can I pull you aside real quick? She's like, oh, okay. Let your helper help with the kids. And I just want to let you know that whenever I come into this room on a tour, you're the person that I want them to see. You're the top shelf person. I might even grab you and have you just give a quick overview of how simple this is and this little checklist. Can you do that for? They're like, you mean I'm the one? Yes. So I just elevated them in their own minds.
Yes.
And then they're the person that I dip to when I walk into that room. And I'm like, oh, and by the way, here's Susan. She's absolutely awesome. She gets built up, but then she gives her own like ground level 25-second testimony about how awesome and easy this is. That's part of the tour.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so then it's not just you that's trying to convince people.
Yeah. I mean, this is terrible. I just thought of this, and this probably should be stricken from the podcast, but it's kind of funny. It's like I'm doing the zoo tour and I want to showcase the couple of goats that don't bite. You know, like these are the good goats.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
You know which classrooms at what time to take them to.
That's it.
Take them on the good tour.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, the next one is, which we kind of alluded to with my little Susan example, it's leverage testimonies. You're asking current volunteers, are you glad you said yes? It's like peer stories that make ministry roles feel real. They feel doable. They feel meaningful.
Absolutely. You're walking in that room and after Susan gives her pitch, you ask Susan, what has it meant for you and your family and you and your walk with Jesus to serve and lead in here? And just let them go.
That's it.
And you, like, that is really all you need to do to help convince people. And now you know who not to ask as well.
Yes.
You should have everybody share.
Yeah. I call it people who have the yes face and people who have the stress face.
Yeah.
I'm going with my yes face. Now, I have to say, I think it is honorable and it's going to really work to our advantage if I go ahead of myself and tell Susan or whoever that person may be that has the yes face, I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah, your pre-service huddle. Say, hey, a reminder to everybody, we're going to have a tour today. And be welcoming and invite. These are people that are thinking about joining our team.
Yes. Now, another thing that's kind of important is that you can gather video testimonies from people. Those could be put out on social media. Video testimonies can be sent as an attachment to a follow-up email to somebody who just went on your tour. Listen, my tours, this was a part of an entire process of recruiting.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But testimonies don't have to be live. They can be served. They can serve you in lots of different ways. The next one, number 6, is close the gap. This one right here, Vance, this is, in my opinion, the biggest fail that I have seen with people all across the country. It says, make onboarding frictionless, fast follow-up, clear next steps, process their background check immediately, and schedule quickly. Take it away.
Yeah, you're right. So I've seen, I come in, I get to consult with a lot of different churches. And one of the things that is a very common issue is, hey, we have a hard time. People will say yes, but then by the time they get on our team, they're gone, they ghost us. And then you dig in a little bit deeper and you go, okay, so they filled out a card. It took you 2 weeks to respond to them. Then when you scheduled them for their orientation to come in or your meeting, that was another 2 weeks. And then to do their orientation class was another month. And then they had to wait. Like people are, this is the gold. This is the treasure that God has given you, and you have to treat it as such. Now, we're not saying that you don't do due diligence. You should, but don't wait to the end of all your interviews to then do the background checks. Like, start things simultaneously, and your goal should be within a month of somebody expressing interest that they're in a classroom. There's no reason that shouldn't happen. And so people often will respond in a moment after a service or something, like, I think I should say it. And they're timid. They're kind of hesitant about it. And it's kind of like, I'm going to be vulnerable here. And then when you don't respond in a way that says, oh my goodness, you're saying, yeah, absolutely, let's go, let's get you. When you delay, you are rejecting them.
That's right.
And now they're going to start pulling back away because they don't want to be rejected, and you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them. So important. You got to close this. You got to close fast. Absolutely, as quickly as possible. I couldn't agree more. And
a shadowing experience and just getting somebody like, hey, listen, before we run your background check, we're just going to place you next to Susan. Maybe your church will go for that. Maybe I don't know. Don't worry about the background check necessarily. But the idea is to get them moving and get them in there. Well, here's the deal. A better on-ramp. Let's close this plane today. Let's land this thing. Let's do it. We're going to now begin to move into calling people to action. Vance, I love this one. Your biggest and initial, what are you going to do now that you've heard this podcast? Audit one role. Is it clearly defined? Can people see it in action? Do they know what success looks like? Is there someone available to walk with them, shadowing? Is there a clear next step after yes? This is critical. And by the way, some people can get totally overwhelmed. It's like, okay, slow down. Your check-in volunteers, the people who are standing at the computers, it's a 15-minute role. It's usually once a month. Go through this checklist and audit it. Is it abundantly easy to serve here, or is it abundantly complicated?
Yeah. This is a value proposition that often, do we want safety? Do we want? Yes, we do. But we also value people getting in serving. And that's the goal. This is part of people's spiritual development. Yep. It's core. And so looking at all, and start with one, that's going to give you a really good indication.
Yes.
But of the rest, but really start with one critical space and go, okay, what do we need to do here to close this gap? And one of the things that we did, we had a spreadsheet that was essentially an onboarding flow chart that go, okay, from the moment that a card comes in or somebody puts in an email or they express, who follows up and how quickly are they following up? And then what's the clear step? And a lot of it, there's overlapping steps. So we're going to start their background check while they're also having their interview with the area of ministry they expressed interest in. And they it does not have to be a linear process. And that's what you're going to find is that most of the time when you audit these roles, and why it takes so long is you're going one step at a time. That's not the way to do it. Stack up as many steps as you can on top of each other. Move everything together as quickly, simultaneously as you possibly can.
Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. This is not one to lollygag on. Okay, number 2, share stories. Ask 3 volunteers this week if they'd be willing to share their story. This is pretty low-hanging fruit. You know the good ones. You know the ones that you're like, I wouldn't really want to put them on a video.
Oh, yeah.
But you know the ones that you do. Go find them this week.
That's right. Have those stories in your back pocket. That's one of your greatest recruiting tools is in the lobby and somebody sharing something about their life. And you're like, hey, do you know Susie? She's amazing. I need to connect you to her. Have you heard her story? She's been serving with us for 3 years. Here's what it's done for us. And then you make that connection and it's just a relationship. And what's going to happen then is they're going to become a volunteer.
That's right.
But knowing those stories, having them in your back pocket and having the volunteers prepped and ready saying, like you said, Josh, many times, you're my person. You're my person. Be ready. And they will.
That's awesome, man. Well, this next thing, and you kind of alluded to this, and I know some people are like, well, Josh and Vance, it's just kind of organic for us. Yeah, organic is also known as you are not buttoned down and you are loosey-goosey and it's all over the place. You don't have a system. And you can blame, well, we just want the Spirit to lead, which is code for you need to pull your stuff together and actually be a professional here.
Absolutely.
And what that looks like is a process. You call it create a from yes to serving flowchart. Now, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should, because it's step number 1. They say yes, then there's an arrow. You give them a tour, then there's an arrow. They shadow somebody. There's an arrow. They are now onboarded. They're trying it out for themselves. They have their first service opportunity and you have feedback from them because you want to come in and check on them really quick. How are you doing? Did you like that? Did that feel, do you have any questions? Or like, well, I'm kind of am I supposed to be here at, let me make sure you understand that. It's this relational flowchart. So it's, to be kind of crazy about it, it's like somebody who's trying to sell a car and they have these steps that they're moving somebody through. It's like an opportunity record.
Well, and also why this is so important and where many times people fall through the cracks is that there's more than one person involved in this.
That's right.
And so if we don't have a way, this isn't just stating it of what it is, it's tracking a person through this.
Bingo.
Creating a system so that we know where they are and who's accountable, who's holding on to, how is this handoff happening? Who am I handing off to next? So that we can continue to move this thing forward. Because often if that's not clear and it's not tracked, they just get dropped.
They do.
If everybody's owning it, no one is, right? And so if everybody is owning this volunteer, nobody is. It's who right now, where are they at in the process, and how do we get them to the next step as quickly as possible?
And I think about it as maybe even a huge piece of white butcher paper or whatever, and it's columns, and it's these long columns, and it's like, they said yes, and then their names are there. It's like, well, they can't stay here. Then you physically move their little whatever sticky note to the next phase, and then you have a visual of where people are in the recruiting pipeline, so to speak.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Well, this is about as important as it gets. Vance, you are a wealth of good information. And I think that if people were to go back and they were to re-listen to this particular podcast, they could audit their entire selves. They could clean up a few things and make a huge, huge difference. Very grateful, Vance, for you.
Absolutely. My privilege.
All right. Well, gang, we will catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget, this entire month is dedicated to the important skill and the important task of recruiting. And we will catch you guys on the next one.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Lead Ministry Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and visit leadvolunteers.com for more episodes and resources. Thanks for listening.